dear readers. I'm here in Denmark. Very excited for my first ever Eurovision live and being here in person. And so, as promised, I'm going to give you some of my thoughts for dark horses. So, in case you're wondering, a dark horse is a entry or a contestant that no one's really paying attention to, that people think, or at least I think, will be successful. So I have four different dark horses that I think, four different entries that I think could do really well that no one's really talking about right now. The first would be Germany. No one really is paying attention to this song. Is It Right by Ellie, Ella Eliza, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it's so fun, it's so catchy, it's so bouncy. I really do think that the general public who's watching Eurovision is going to hear that. It's going to really stick out in their minds, and they're attached to it. They're going to vote for it, and I think it's going to do very well and continue Germany's top 10, bring Germany back to the top 10. Not continue it because, as we all know, last year they were very far out of it. So look for Germany to do really well. The next song I want to talk about is Poland. We Are Slavic, the Slavic Girls. I think that this song's getting a little bit of talk and traction, and people are excited about the number of YouTube video views it has. But I think it's not really being seen as a serious contender to do much other than get Poland back to the final for the first time in ages, since 2008. I do know the exact year. And so I think this song will not only get Poland back to the final, but I think it would get them to the top 12. It's such a fun song, and it's so different than anything else this year. There's a dearth. There's not much. There are not many fast songs that are really danceable this year, and so Poland is really filling in that gap. And I think people who are tuning into Eurovision for fun slogger type songs are going to really adhere to this one and really get behind it. The next song I want to talk about is The Netherlands. It's a song that not a lot of folks are really sure about. You have a lot of folks debating about whether or not it can do well, whether or not it has the potential, whether or not it's too boring to win Eurovision. And I think for the Netherlands, it's less about winning Eurovision as it is about building upon last year's success. I think if the Kamalinettes, Eel and Wayland, are able to get back to the final and get Netherlands performing on Saturday night, I think they will have succeeded in Troost's mind. I think they'll not only get to the final, I think they will do very well, at least by Dutch standards. So I think they'll be top 15. I don't know if I necessarily say that they'll be top 10, but I think it'd be a lot like Belgium last year, where it's a song that people weren't really sure about, generally had a negative impression about, but once they saw it on the night, the general voting public really pushed it through. And so I think that it's going to end up in the same way. A song going in with little to no support, ending up surprising everyone and finishing 12th, which is a very respectable finish. Finally, I would like to talk about the entry from Estonia. I think that Estonia is going to, every so often Estonia is very capable of producing a sleeper. It's something that no one even thinks of, and then all of a sudden it's top 5. And that's how they won back in 2001. That's how they succeeded intermittently throughout, like 2009 and 2012, when Estonia is kind of like, oh look, here's an Estonia song, and then it was just dazzling on the night. I think if Tanya can pull off the choreography that we saw, not just on her live performance at Estilal, but also the choreography from the music video, which is even more intense and even more involved, I think she'll be a shoo-in for a top 10. I think people at home will see it and be so amazed by her ability to sing and dance so intensely that it's going to be an easy walk to the top 10 for Estonia if all the pieces fall into place properly. So that's my 4 songs I think could very well be dark horses that can really surprise people by how successful they'll actually be. I thought that for my first video post I would make it something a bit more upbeat and optimistic. And so good luck to all the songs. May the best song win. And I'm very excited. And I'll see y'all later.